You fill in the blank.
Right.
Usually the follow-up is just terrible, i.e.
Yes.
Dumb and Dumber. Anchorman fell. Name it.
Yeah, exactly.
But to wait, would they wait 36 years?
30, I think it was 30, yeah, about 30 years, I think. But I'll tell you that what's interesting is, and a guy that I communicate with, Tim Miller, big car guy, Tim went to it and he said, it's a movie that it's not grotesque, there's not, blood scenes, there's not graphic sex scenes, there's none of this stuff in there.
I saw that, yeah.
And it just kept going. And I didn't realize it. My wife had never seen the original Top Gun, so we watched it the night before at my house, and so it was great for her to be able to see that. But I didn't realize that the real combat scenes and stuff like that were really only the last 15 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
This is like the last 45 minutes of the movie. It is intense.
Really?
But
Well, the first movie was like that. There wasn't a lot of grotesque stuff. There was
No.
Just a good movie.
It was a good movie,
Back
and
then,
I love the
they didn't
original.
have that stuff back then.
No, they did
Doing
not.
the sex scenes and
No,
cussing
no.
and just
I think they
The-
might
the-
cuss
the
in
only
there
requirement
twice.
was that Tom Cruise and what's his name had to be shirtless out on the volleyball court.
Yeah, that happens
Yeah, but you
again.
gotta sell a movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that happens again. But
You know what? Let me just go ahead and throw my tinfoil hat on. Okay? We're going to war, boys. We are going to war. You know why? Because that is a clean movie that a 9-year-old, 10-year-old, 12-year-old can watch, and now he wants to be an Air Force pilot. So in the next 6 to 8 years, gotta pay attention. Get your gats is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because if that movie was that good, there's
Yeah.
no reason why it was that good for it just to be a good movie.
Mark's saying it's the way a sequel is supposed to be done. It is. You're absolutely right. It starts out good. It ends good. There's a lot of entertainment in the middle, and
Well, I've been skeptical about seeing it, but after hearing all the rave reviews from people, and I don't pay attention to what the critics are saying because they don't know shit. But hearing all of my friends and the people here at the lounge going, "That's just really a great movie," I'm like, "Damn, I'm gonna have to go see the damn thing."
no, Rotten Tomatoes for the they do the critics and the viewers. So usually critics give it a 95 and the viewers give it like a 60. This is like 96 and the viewers are 99.
nice.
Yeah,
It's that good.
It's
I mean, you're
that
talking,
good.
when I'm hearing this, I'm hearing one of the greatest movies of all time. Is what
it's
that's telling me.
it's from an aviation standpoint. I think it's so good.
What do they fly?
But you know what? That's
They're
the way the
flying.
first one
They're
was.
flying all contemporary planes. They're flying
like F-22s?
No, they're flying F-18s for the most part. But what was interesting is the pilots were all in the real planes. They were flying in these planes, doing their thing, and of course, they have to get the planes from the government, and the government was charging them $11 million an hour flight time.
Shit.
$11 million an hour. But it sounds like they made their money back because they did $248 million opening
Record,
weekend and
Record
$248
Memorial Day.
overseas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was listening today that it set Memorial Day records across the board.
Honestly, the timing for this movie, because I know it's been held back, right, for a year or two.
Right.
Yep.
COVID and all that stuff happened. This weekend was the perfect time.
Yeah,
It was the perfect timing for it.
Yeah, and I think I just for shits and giggles, I went on Cinemark's apps and I just looked at like the 5 o'clock show and the 7 o'clock show and stuff. And people, how they graze out the seats that aren't available.
Yeah.
People were buying the front row seats.
And scalping
No, I don't know. They might have been scalping them, but to get I couldn't watch that in the XD theater in the front row.
No, I can't.
Can I ask this? How much does a movie cost now?
It's still cheaper than the popcorn, but
Is it $15 a movie?
I think it's probably I don't
Yeah.
know 12, 15
If you're
bucks.
seeing it in XD, it's $15.
I wouldn't know either.
Let me ask this to people. When is the last time you went to a movie theater? What's the last movie you saw in the theater?
That's the one I went to see was this last Spider-Man movie,
How many years ago was that?
like 6 months ago.
Oh, you're an early adopter.
Listen, I love the Spider-Man franchise, and I think
$10, Pennington. What movie theater is that? That guy's going.
He walks in
Yeah, he's
backwards.
going to.
Yeah, he's walking in backwards.
Yeah.
And he's not watching it in XD. The XD
Sorry,
is the kicker on that.
Mm-hmm.
There's always a premium on that. And if you go to the
I
IMAX,
saw that. I saw
if you go to the IMAX, there's another $4 or $5 on top of that.
Yeah, Pennington's going to the senior special early.
Yeah.
Early
that
show,
show,
10 times.
He goes.
Bars.
He goes to the one you got to take the dog to.
That dog, I swear to God.
Parky.
I love that dog.
I love that dog, but I'm going to drop kick it.
Yeah, I'll just bring Havana in to clear. Clear it out.
Yeah, Havana would be just coughing up fur for the rest of the night.
Murdering. What's up, everybody? Thank you for joining us. This is Tuesday, Cigar Talk Live, and I just feel like an NPR DJ right now.
Yeah, it's feeling.
You look
You're
like
not
an
getting in.
NPR.
You're just kind of throwing it out there. You got to get into it.
Does this make it any better?
If we had headphones, you would embrace this situation right now.
You would
You're
say-
right.
Yeah.
You're right. I'm missing the headphones.
Yeah.
If you guys will just allow me just for a second to say something I always wanted to say
Plus,
in
I'm always
this type
short.
of mic, which is we like to see your sweaty balls, and I just think that's, to me, that's with these mics you just have.
The
to
first
do.
podcast we did, it was in my patio. Busy brought this setup. We had the headphones on. It was Kathleen and I, and she's like, I feel like saying shorty ball. And it was just like that whole
Yeah,
that SNL skit.
Yep.
If you've never seen it,
it's
Then-
classic.
Then you're raised wrong, or you're an idiot.
or too young.
Yeah,
Yeah,
or to you.
try
Well,
Both, all of us.
by the way, that brings up an interesting topic. When is the last time
SNL.
Saturday Night Live has been funny?
20 years ago?
Hang on. Let's stop for a second and ask this
I'd say
question.
40 years ago,
because
but then I show my age.
How long has it been since Will Ferrell's been on it?
That's the question. Is
Yeah.
what is the best class of SNL? What has been your favorite? Because I think it has to do with how old you were when
Yeah.
you started
Well,
watching. So what do you
and
think
Well, the
is
first
best?
ones, the first group was pretty good with Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd and those guys.
Belushi
Steve
and-
Martin was on a lot. Belushi was in it.
Yeah.
That
And Gilda Radner.
Gilda
I mean,
Radner
if you-
was
if-
great.
If you miss Gilda,
Thank you, Larry.
that
I mean,
yeah, yeah.
there's an icon right there.
No, I think it's
What's the best class? If you're going to take one class, what do you take from SNL?
that Will Ferrell class was pretty good.
I think so.
Yeah,
And at the end of, I would take at the end of Will Ferrell, where you have Horatio Sands, you have Chris Kattan, you have he's got a late night show now. He plays the guitar.
Oh, I know who you're talking
And
about.
him and Horatio Sands would laugh in every one
Everything,
of the skits.
yeah.
Jo-
Oh.
Somebody help me out here.
The real Jimmy Fallon.
Jimmy
Oh,
Fallon.
yeah.
Fallon. You had Sherry O'Terry.
Yeah,
The gentleman who just passed away not long ago from cancer. Norm Macdonald, of course, was a little
Yeah,
bit earlier,
yeah.
but kind of in that territory.
but they had who was the guy? Was it
Buckwheat.
who was the guy that
Eddie Murphy.
was so good at
Yeah.
at imitating people? He did Bill Clinton perfectly, but he was one of these guys that just had an incredible range.
Name, I know you're
Yeah,
talking about.
but that was maybe the class before that.
Yeah,
right?
he was.
Yeah.
God, he was.
Well, you remember Joe Piscopo was on for
Yeah.
decades, who was a phenomenal
Wow, thank you,
impersonist.
Joe. Buckwheat, thanks for tossing that out. I mean, that was
The Eddie Murphy class was, but Eddie was just was so dominant.
it's on another level.
Yeah.
And I think you just had I think you had a cast that worked well together.
Oliver's come in and Chris Farley.
Oh, Chris Farley.
Chris Farley, yeah.
Oh, how do
I
you
mean,
miss Chris
all these
Farley?
names you're bringing up, and then I think of a skit. So Chris Farley, when he did the
Motivational speaker.
not just that one, but the one where
The Bears.
he was the that one too, but he was the Chippendales.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, with Patrick Swayze.
Patrick
Yeah.
Swayze, yeah.
That one was good.
That
Lay
was
off, I'm starving.
Yeah.
Near
Yeah.
the Bears.
Oh God.
That make how many heart attacks is that for you there, Bob? Oh, that's a baker's
Yeah.
dozen over there.
I'm having a heart attack.
Dana Carvey, Adam Sandler.
Yep.
And now I think you just it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate to watch SNL and see
Yeah.
where it is.
Yeah.
However,
It didn't need to go. If you go back and look at the old stuff, it wasn't so political.
No.
Now it's so political, and it leans so much in one direction.
Yeah.
You're going to alienate half the country.
Yeah.
But you know, I joked with your wife that every time she mentioned the football games to you, she'd say, "The
The
Bears,
Bears.
The Bears.
The Bears.
the Bears."
Yes.
SNL. I will tell you one thing though. I still remember growing up watching SNL with you and I still will put on SNL now with Alessia because that sound, thankfully they've never changed the theme song. I mean, they updated it a little, but that sax is still so nostalgic to me that it's interesting because when I was about Alessia's age, you had the entertainment center downstairs and we had that leather chair downstairs.
Yep.
Remember the entertainment center had the VHS that would pull out? You could stack VHS
all the tapes in there,
And we laid, I just remember you laying with me on the couch and we watched SNL. And that is so burned into my mind that I get to recreate that moment.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's what I appreciate about SNL, even still being around, is I can even put that on our old ones, lay with Alessio, and she's about the same age as I was, and recreate those moments. I think that is the good thing about SNL still being around, though.
I'll tell you what, they have some musical artists on there now that I have no freaking clue where they found these people.
Oh, I know.
There are some
Musical artists was always kind of a hit and miss, though, wasn't it?
yeah, but they've
Had some great ones on there.
Yeah. There's a lot of them coming in.
Who was
living in a van down by the river?
Who was Richard in Tommy Boy?
Oh,
When he's the flight attendant?
David Spade.
David Spade. Okay, okay. Bye-bye now.
Yeah.
Bye-bye now.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye now. That one's, I mean, we could go on Simadana.
Now this new skit that they do,
Simadana.
the new skit that they do where the 3 people were abducted by aliens.
Oh my God.
And the 2 were like, I was taken in this warm light. I was sat down in this steel, and then one comes in and smoking a cigarette. I don't know what floor you guys were on, but down where I was at,
She's funny.
that
She is
is
hilarious.
freaking hilarious.
She is hilarious.
Also, J.D. Mars, piss off, man. That was.
And you
not
know,
really-
Ryan Gosling was just hilarious.
Yes.
And kept cracking up and just having to pull his shirt up so he wouldn't laugh.
There was one when Will Ferrell came out in like a red, white, and
American
blue
flag.
American
Yes,
flag deal,
Speedo.
and I mean,
Yep.
and everybody was just losing it.
You know, the one that Sherry O'Terry was a Debbie Downer?
Yeah,
When everybody's sitting at the table.
nobody could keep a straight face on that.
My cat got syphilis. Pulls into him. What's up, Rodney Smith? What's happening? I will tell you on SNL, my favorite cameo. Of course, Steve Martin was never part of the cast, but was a tremendous cameo. Someone I think is better that I gained a ton of respect for.
I know.
Who?
Justin Timberlake.
Justin Timberlake.
Yes.
Bring it on down to Almaville.
Yeah, that dude, he could have been a cast member because his timing was so good.
He was so talented.
Yeah.
Coming out of the boy band,
Dick in the
era.
Box.
Yeah.
Dick in the Box.
Yeah.
Andy Samberg.
And he's he's good. Yeah.
What do they call the Lonely Item?
The Lonely Island.
Lonely
Lonely
Island.
Island.
boys.
Yeah.
I'm on a boat.
I'm on a throw it on the ground. There's a whole bunch. I mean, it's just everyone who's joined us.
And I
thank
tell
you.
you what,
This is
every
actually-
time around Christmas, I'm watching Dick in the Box. I mean, you know, that's just hilarious.
Ronnie, I've seen you with a certain model here. You've been watching Dick in the Box for quite some time.
Okay, so Larry's going old school, but Rosanna Dana. God,
Again, Gilda Radner.
she
I
was
mean,
so good.
She was so phenomenal.
What the hell is that?
That's a classic. That is an absolute Bill Murray absolute classic. What in the hell is that? I don't know what it
Put your
is.
lips on it.
Yeah.
And Steve Martin.
You kids get away from there.
That was
And that's all they did was just that skit where they pretended they were watching something bizarre, and it was just those two doing that. That was so good.
Foss coming in. King Tut with Steve
Nice.
Martin.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
man,
Wild and
this-
Crazy Guys is the classic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Steve Martin and Aykroyd.
Yep.
Wild and Crazy.
We are two wild
Now
and crazy guys.
let me take a pivot here because there were some great times when you had SNL was the staple, but then you had a couple of I don't want to call them spin-offs, but spin-off definitely with Mad TV. Mad TV
Yeah.
had some killers,
Yep.
but in living color.
Oh, God,
Classic.
yes.
No way that could air today.
No, absolutely
No
not.
way.
So
No.
many shows I couldn't hear today.
No, I mean you
In
could.
fact, that's where J-Lo got her start.
Firehouse
Yeah.
Bill.
Firehouse Bill.
Coneheads.
I'm
Classic.
from France. I can't see a French person without saying I come
No,
from France.
we are from France.
Oh, it was just the spin-offs. That was just. I suppose everyone longs for a different time. That was in the past, but as far as SNL goes, no one can argue that SNL is better
Man
now.
on both, so look, 3 snaps and a twist.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
that,
That was on In Living Color.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Damon
don't remember
Wayans.
that. David Wayans?
Yeah. They were two gay guys that would movie
Review
critics.
Yeah,
there you
movie
go.
critics.
Yeah.
Well, and back to SNL, if you get to
Wow,
Mike
these guys are
Myers,
coming in with some great.
Also, Mike Myers. Thanks for that, Mark Voss. But when he's the talk show host,
Coffee talk.
Coffee talk,
Coffee
coffee
talk.
talk,
Coffee talk.
Yeah.
like
Coffee
butter,
talk.
like butter.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Oh no!
Yeah, we got
This is
Mr.
glad
Bill
we
coming in.
got
Mr. Bill was a classic.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a classic.
Oh yeah.
So many good ones.
But you know, they've had decades to work on that stuff, you know? I mean, if you can pull out, you know, just 2 or 3 different skits per season, you've got phenomenal material.
Oh man, this is just good reminiscing. I didn't expect this to go this direction.
Yeah, this
Sure
was good.
glad it is.
Wayne's World was
Oh.
great.
Thank you, Brad. Party on, Wayne.
Party on, Garth.
Oh, Pat.
Oh, it's
Oh,
Pat.
Pat.
Yeah.
Who was it? Was that Dana Carvey that did that?
No.
No.
It was a
Who was
girl.
Pat?
It was a
It's a
girl.
lady. Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
I don't remember her name.
Dennis Miller. Dennis Miller is. I guess.
Dennis Miller was funny. Dennis wasn't the one
That's
that did
just-
that, but
But
Dennis Miller was funny.
Dennis Miller on News Update was just phenomenal.
Yep.
Yeah, but yeah, news update was. It was a good ad, but then Norm Macdonald, I think, is probably.
But, yep, between him
I mean,
and Norm
R.I.P.,
McDonald,
but I think
those
Norm
were
Macdonald.
those were the 2 guys on those skits that were just phenomenal. The 2 guys they've got now are okay, but the material is just, you know.
Yeah, it's too easy. You know where Weekend Update is going now, but what do you got there?
Julia Sweeney.
Julia Sweeney.
So I guess maybe she's one and done
Huh.
on the show. I don't
Well,
know
I mean,
if
she's
she's
a
in
legend with Pat. Yeah.
They did a movie with Pat. I mean, come
they
on.
really?
Yeah, they did.
They did.
Yep.
Huh. Deep Thoughts by Jack Handy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
Huh.
But
All
Mr.
right.
Robinson's Neighborhood, I mean, come on.
Oh, Mr. Robinson's Neighborhood with Eddie Murphy?
Yes.
I'm
yes.
Gumby, damn it.
Yes, so this is the part of this last 15 minutes has been us just reminiscing.
Yeah.
And so if
The
you're
good
just
old
joining
days.
us, this
JD
goes
JD nailed it. He says some of us are carbon dating ourselves right now. Yeah. We're old as white dog shit, that is for sure.
But they were good times.
They
were
were.
good times.
Yeah.
When comedy was comedy, you didn't have to
Back
worry
in
about
my day, you know, we used to watch them good shows.
it. Back in the day. What is-
Now I will say this: there are two cast members, former cast members, on a show I believe it's on Showtime called "I Love That on You."
Oh, yeah.
I have not seen that yet. I need to watch that.
It's spectacular, and it's the one girl I don't know her name. She's the main star in this, but she has this she's really awkward the way she carries herself.
She's in Christmas Christmas Party.
No.
Are you sure? Where
Oh,
she's
she
like
is.
the
She
accountant.
is.
She's the accountant.
Yes.
And the Asian guy wants
Yep,
to get
yep,
with
yep,
her.
yep, yep.
He's like, treat
Yeah.
me like a baby. Yes.
Yeah,
That's a good one.
So
by the
she's
way.
in that skit as well, or in that show. And who was the superstar?
Yeah.
Sherry O'Terry.
Sherry O'Terry.
Yeah.
No, superstar.
Oh, Molly Shannon.
Molly
Molly
Shannon.
Shannon, yeah.
So those two are hosts
Molly Shannon.
on one is an icon on SVN, which is a home shopping network spinoff. It's funny as hell.
Thank you, Larry.
Yeah,
I'm just so
cheeseburger.
happy about this all.
We got cheeseburger, no Pepsi, cheap.
Cheeseburger. Who did
That was Belushi.
Yeah.
And there's a restaurant in Chicago called Billy Goat's, and that's the way you go in and order. I'll take a
it's a real
cheeseburger and fries. Cheeseburger, then they would order cheeseburger, no fries, cheaps.
Cheeseburger.
Yeah,
Cheeseburger,
Pepsi.
cheeseburger,
All the
cheeseburger,
Coke.
fries.
Yeah, that was classic.
Samurai Bakery.
He did the samurai.
Yes.
Yeah.
What about when Aykroyd did the Vegematic, where he put the bass in the blender and just starts grinding the shit up?
Oh man, what would you say is the most memorable? What's your favorite SNL skit?
Oh,
or maybe
my
you have
God.
to put a couple in there. But think about some of the top SNL skits. Maybe not most memorable, but which ones are most irreplaceable to you specifically? Not the most popular that you would throw out at a party so everyone kind of laughs and agrees with you, but one of the most memorable to you.
Oh,
Land Shark.
Land Shark was pretty good.
Land Shark.
I remember that.
The guy came to the door. He would pretend that he was somebody else. It'd be like Candygram, knocking on the door. And then he opened the door, and the shark would come in and eat him.
Cowbell. How do we miss Cowbell?
Cowbell, yeah.
Cowbell.
Christopher Walken should have been a full-time cast member as well.
Yeah.
Mine, to answer your question, from my perspective, is the Two Wild and Crazy Guys, because that's me, and that's what me and Scott Noble we do that everywhere.
I have a picture
Jorge
of you in
and York,
1978
yeah.
going Wild and
That's
Crazy
where we were
Guys.
at we did that at our prom and stuff.
So Wild and Crazy Guys.
Wild and Crazy Guy. That's the one that just sticks with me, for sure.
You know, there's one that sticks with me that is actually new era. We're talking older era, but there's a new era where the gentleman, it's a Halloween special, and it's a gentleman who was at the very beginning of Pineapple Express. I'll figure out his name. But he's doing a Halloween special, and it's the new cast member who does the Target lady.
Oh, yeah.
And she comes in, and then
She's
there's
good.
Liberace who's in there, and everyone is a cast member on this kids show, and it's all black and white. And they come in, and I'll remember what his name is, and you guys will know who I'm talking about. But he's the host, and it's a 1950s style. Hey, he comes in, and Dean Martin comes in, and it's John Hamm, and he comes in, and he's just loaded, and he's just pissed up, drunk, and he's like, he's saying all this inappropriate stuff. Jeebus, children's show. But that, I will piss myself laughing every time I watch it. It's not Seth Rogen. It's, I'll figure out who it is. SNL Halloween special. What do you guys think? Well, I looked this up.
My earliest memory of SNL has to be Jim Belushi with the cheeseburger.
Yeah.
So I'll go down.
Yeah. Belushi was so good. What about you, Ronnie?
What's up, Rob? Thanks for joining us.
I love the Land Shark, and then anything with Rosanna Dunn.
Yeah.
I mean, Gilda Radner was just
That's what it is.
phenomenal. She is just hilarious.
Bill Hader.
Yes.
Kristen
Bill Hader,
Wiig,
yeah.
I know
John
that.
Hamm, and Fred
I know
Armisen.
the character that you're talking about.
I'll
With
pull it
that
up. I'm
Hader
gonna-
does it.
I'm just going to drop this in the link. You guys go ahead and leave us for a second, watch this, and then come back and thank me later.
Bill
This,
Hader, he's great.
it's TV. It's Vincent Price's Halloween special.
Yes.
And it is. I will laugh my ass off at this.
Oh, yeah.
And the Californians.
The Californians were
gosh,
great.
Yes.
I said around Colorado, Stuart.
Right. You got soft hands for a
Dude,
bruh.
bruh.
For those of you who are still with us,
Yeah.
we apologize.
Well,
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm looking at 20 viewers right now.
Hey, this is actually working. Go ahead and hit share. Hey, can we talk about the winners for? Because anyone who's watching for the winners,
That's really the only reason they're watching.
Let's be honest. Let's see how this falls off after it. But
okay, I'm looking it up.
so Pops is looking this up right now. We are going to actually. You can read it off how you have it because I know you did the drawing earlier this afternoon. We're talking Friday this week, Friday evening. A certain number of people will be able to go to a private dinner with Nelson Alfonso, the owner of Adame, Byron Bandolero. He has his hands in a ton of different cigars, and they're all magic. And then Saturday, if you don't have tickets, if you're a private member, there are still tickets. If you don't have tickets and you are not a private member, there are no tickets left. We are looking at 76 people currently that will be in the building for it.
Wow.
It's going to be full and busy. Bee's setting up, so it's going to be kind of a First Friday environment.
Nice.
So it'll be fun, it will be educational, and we're going to have a
I'm looking forward to seeing Nelson again. I haven't seen him in a couple of years. In fact, the last time I saw him was probably Thanksgiving, Friendsgiving.
Friendsgiving 2018.
Has it been that long?
2018.
Well, then I saw
You were
him,
saying 2019, but it was not 2019.
18.
It was 2018.
Wow.
Then I saw him after that.
Thanksgiving.
Because Dustin and I ran into him in Cuba in 2019.
Right.
You
in
ran
Miami.
into him?
Yes.
Oh, that's
Oh,
right.
you guys were in Florida though.
We were in Florida.
Yeah.
We were on our way back from our Cuba trip, and we had a long layover in Miami.
Frank-
And one of Dustin's buddies picked us up, and we ran around Little Havana for a while.
Honestly.
And we were in a cigar lounge there in Havana, or I mean in Miami. And I'm walking by, and I walk past somebody, and I go, "Wait a minute!"
Yeah, well,
And I turn around and I look at Dustin. And I said, "I think that was Nelson." And he goes, "Nelson?" I said, "Nelson Alfonso." And I turned around and I go, "Nelson." And he turns around and goes, "Ron." I said, "How are you doing, man?" And I'm like, "What the hell are you doing here? Why aren't you in Spain?" He goes, he was here for some meeting he had there.
Yeah, his warehouse is in Miami.
And
he remembers your name.
he remembered my name.
How cool is that?
And, Nelson and I have just, I've never connected with a guy so quickly and so thoroughly than the first time I ever met Nelson. And he is just a phenomenal guy. And in fact, I'm jokingly talking about buying a villa in Spain just so that I will be in Spain and I can invite Nelson over to the house.
I will go in 1/100,000.
No, you don't have to. I found a villa for about $78K.
1/1000 still sticks around. I mean, I will throw down.
I'm in for half of that.
All right.
Let's go in, boys.
Put me in for a
If
full
anyone is
1,000.
looking for a business opportunity,
Yeah.
we've got a business opportunity for you.
So
Well,
Okay, Bob.
here's how it broke down.
If Frank wins, he's in Oklahoma doing some Indian stuff, so he cannot.
Oh, that's too bad because he was first on the list.
so that means I get a spot, right? So that means I get a spot, right?
Yeah. Well, you're just on the outside, but it's Ryan Hensley,
Nice.
Elliot, Terry Tompkins,
Nice.
and Grady Yates. Now we have some guys that are on standby in case somebody can't do this particular dinner.
Nice.
We have
As long as
John
Chris-
Westgate,
Oh,
Pennington.
No. Do not say Pennington.
I know.
wins
God
He
damn it.
wins everything.
Fuck you, Pennington.
Johnny Goodner. Now this is what happens. You get points. Now when you bought an Atabay, you got 2 points. Byron's, you got 2 points or 2 entries. And some of these guys bought 150 cigars, which got them 300 entries into this raffle.
For
So
a $30 dinner.
yeah. So
That's marketing, brother. That's marketing.
Westgate,
They're all great
Pennington, Goodner, and another gentleman. I have to get the first name, but the last name is Thompson.
Thompson.
Yes.
Ron Thompson.
So we have Tompkins and Thompson. So that's 8. And we'll notify you guys tomorrow. If you can't make it, then we'll go to the alternates.
Congratulations.
Congrats.
Yes.
That is
That's
going to
gonna
be
be
awesome.
awesome.
Congratulations, everybody but Pennington.
Absolutely. Everybody but Pennington. Did you reach out to Chamberlain's or is it Kenny's?
I'll get it all buttoned up tomorrow.
Okay.
I was working on a lead with Haywire,
Okay, cool.
but
As long as it's
he
not
didn't get back to me.
McDonald's.
Terry, how cool is that? And you know what's cool? What goes around comes around. Terry was actually leading the tenors in the Dallas Symphony, and he had these club tickets that he bought to give to somebody, and he was just having the damnedest time. Well, he was just giving them. I mean, he tried to give them to everybody, and I felt terrible for the guy because I couldn't swing
couldn't
the
go
thing.
either.
I just couldn't swing it. But Chris Pennington actually got a chance to go. I just said it was amazing. This guy is one of the most talented musicians I've ever seen in
Incredible.
my life, and just a tremendous add to the culture here.
Yep.
Yes, he
no
is.
I'm
doubt.
glad he won. That's cool.
Yep.
Yeah, I sat with him last night for quite a while, and him and I always have a great conversation. He's a great guy.
His personality is fantastic,
He's been
isn't it?
fantastic.
How cool was that to have a first timer in today?
It's always phenomenal
Here's-
the first time around.
First timer comes in, speaks with Cameron last night. Cameron spends 1 hour with him, walking around, educating, running through, and it just does my soul good. But he goes back home, realizes he doesn't have a lighter, so he comes in today to have his first cigar here. So the hell with it, you're gonna have an Atabay, you're gonna one up everybody at the party. So he has an Atabay Savios. Sit down, show him how to smoke the cigar, how to enjoy the cigar, and before you know it, Ron's there, Pennington's there,
Terry,
Larry,
Steve.
is there. There's just this whole group, and he's a 21-year-old kid, well well more mature than his age shows.
Yeah.
Just here experiencing for the first time an industrial with the right people, it was infectious. I could not leave the table. It was incredible.
That's awesome.
It was awesome.
Yeah, so cool.
Let's roll in here to. I know it's going to be a little bit of spoilers, so you probably thought about it, but the judgmental questions. Maybe we just hit one and keep rolling. Here.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Where do you guys think
Well,
he's going to sit?
let me preface something here real quick. During middle school and early high school, I did a lot of research because I was fascinated with Bigfoot, Bermuda Triangle, Loch Ness Monster, the whole gambit. And I have done a lot of reading on all of this stuff.
Okay.
So I'm going to have a great time.
Particularly if you've
Well,
read
don't give it away,
if you've read
I'm not.
any of it on the
Where are you
internet,
going with it?
it's
He's
got
a 10.
This
No, he
is
isn't.
hey,
No, he isn't. I think he's a 1 and 2. I think I'm going 1 and 2.
All right. Well, the entire internet is watching tonight. We're adding people as time goes on, and this is where you, as viewers of Cigar Talk Live, get an opportunity to just straight out judge the people that are in
Absolutely.
here being asked these questions. Question number 1 of what has turned into the big 3, has turned into 4, has turned into 5. But number 1, Ron Hancock, where do you stand on Bigfoot?
Bigfoot. I really, really want to believe in Bigfoot, but because of all the infrared camera and all the optics that are available, I want to say he's not out there, and if he is, he's a better hider than the best sniper on the planet.
That's where do you sit on the spectrum of 1 to 10?
7.
Oh,
Oh, that's
still-
a goddamn believer.
that's
I don't
solid.
agree.
I'm here.
I mean,
yeah.
I'm here.
I
He's
know
there.
you're at a 0.
Yeah.
You know, but you know
He
what?
wants
There's-
to believe.
The problem
That's fair.
is
So do I.
the other problem is there is so much forest area and mountainous area out there that we don't know anything about, that we haven't explored, and don't have the camera set up for yet. That there might be something out there.
The odds of setting a camera up when you see some of the forests these guys are in, they're going to these areas where they've had spottings and stuff, and they're setting their cameras up. But literally, that's like throwing a nickel in the ocean and saying, "Go find it."
No, as time goes, my number goes down.
Exactly,
I've moved down to a
exactly.
3. I've moved down to a 3.
Once we get better satellite coverage and satellites dedicated to scanning forests and
Better?
things like that, then
I think
I'm gonna start
I've seen
going
footage
forward.
of satellites pinpointing,
Tourists.
labels. Yeah.
right. But they're not focused on forest and looking for Bigfoot.
But they could.
They're not though. If they did, then
Hold it. Let me explain to you why I think that's full of shit. Okay. Would there be a better story to distract the American public than finding Bigfoot on an infrared from the government?
That would be.
Talk about UFOs right now, right? We're all talking about UFOs
Yeah.
because DHS puts out this report. Why wouldn't they take that to just go, hey, here's this? Meanwhile, they're taking all the pensions and just divvying that out to the politicians. In my opinion, it's in their best interest to find Bigfoot.
That would work.
I have a friend of mine that lives in Alaska.
They'll probably find it the week after the Johnny Depp thing is over.
trial over. Yep.
Yeah, that's taking too much attention.
That's taking a lot of
I've been glued
attention.
to that. I will be honest. It is
Yeah.
the best thing to work.
That is just crazy.
Yeah. Okay.
That's solid.
That's a 7.
Yeah, 7.
That is a 7. Ooh. So that's JD Mars coming in. I'm getting a Bronco Sasquatch, so I'll believe in it being true when it gets delivered. Congrats, man.
Yeah.
There's such thing as a Bronco Sasquatch.
Yeah, they made a.
Did they really?
It's a bigger tires and it's more beefier.
Nice.
Huh. All right.
I like it.
All right. Those Broncos. Tell me the Broncos sport owners don't feel swindled. Is that just the
I think they went
dumbest
in
looking
thinking
thing?
I'm getting a Bronco and but it's a sport.
The Bronco
maybe
Sport
they-
would fit
You
in
get
the back of a
well,
Bronco.
They sent the renderings. Everyone pre-purchased the Bronco, and then the Bronco Sport shows up, and you go, "Well, I'm way too into this thing."
Yeah, where's the rest of it?
That's like the Bronco versus Bronco 2 back in the
Oh,
100%
yeah,
90s.
yeah.
100%. However, in my opinion, the Nova 2 was better than the original Nova. I think the body style of the Nova 2 was super pretty. Because what did that have? What was that? A 383 Cleveland? 383 stroker.
Yeah, ours had 383 stroker in it, but I don't think it came with that big of a
Small by
motor.
Chevy?
Yeah, it was a smaller motor because you had to put when you put a bigger motor in that 67 Nova that you had to put a subframe in it that would support it.
Didn't stop Grandpa from running it into the wall.
No, it did not.
Throttle stuck wide open, didn't come off. He went sideways this way, and then the wall in the 8th mile.
Yeah.
However, I just can't wait until Duke comes down. There's a story about Duke, my grandpa, who is one of the greatest guys on the planet, hands down. He was a drag racer in the Drag Racing Hall of Fame, and there was a time when his throttle cable broke. This is what I understand. You correct me if I'm wrong.
Yep.
I think they were going to Des Moines to some national railroad. They were going to Des Moines for a drag racer. Well, the throttle cable broke. So with old carbureted motors, obviously everyone was watching. They know that there's still some cable left. So what he did was he just opened the throttle up, brought the cable in so it stuck wide open. So it started up, get it to the line, and then dropped it into gear. And from what I understand, he couldn't let off the throttle, so he just wheelied
It would
the whole quarter.
It wouldn't. He was bouncing it. I mean, it would ride first gear, second gear, and then it would bounce in third, and then bounce a little bit in fourth.
And then finish the quarter.
Yeah, but he'd have to start it, leave the clutch in, and it was just wide open. Pull up to the line and just hope that the motor doesn't blow before the light turns green. Yeah.
I love it.
This guy's a legend. This guy is a legend. I can't wait to have him on this show. He probably won't say much, but you're going to enjoy what he says. Get him drunk as a skunk.
Get him drunk as a skunk. That doesn't. It happens faster now, but I'll tell you, the night that we had him in our hot tub and he was down here, and he had a few, as he called them back in the day, sudsy pops.
Yep.
And he had a few sudsy pops in him. And he's sitting there smoking the cigar in the hot tub, but he's all the way down in the hot tub. and friggin' water is just pouring off of the end of the cigar. He's like, I can't keep this goddamn thing lit. How are you guys keeping this lit? I can't keep it. And water's just dripping off of it.
So good.
Yeah, oh my God.
Sucking up water every time he took a draw.
Yeah.
Oh, no. He's a legend.
Yep.
Living legend. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, let's roll into that. Second one, Adrian, take the honors, please.
Yeah, where do you stand? 0 to 5-ish.
Ghosts. You know what? There's enough paranormal activity out there. I believe there are ghosts. I believe there are spirits that have just not decided to go where they needed to go, and they decided they're going to stick around and fuck with everybody.
Sure.
So you're all in.
I'm all in.
You're a 10.
10.
I'm a 10.
Did you say 9?
10.
10
Well, he
was
said
pressure.
5, so you know.
Well, he's trying to get people to be closer to him.
hedge.
So, yeah, based on my criteria, it's still
Yes.
0, but based on experience.
Tracy's all in. Tracy is all in.
So how many of you out here in Cigar Talk Live land are aware, or what do you guys feel is are ghosts real? And ghost, we have that kind of a two-part question. Number one is you have the ghost that is, what the hell is that?
A physical
Apparition. Ghost, an apparition, and then you have the spirit thing. And so if anyone out here has if anyone out here is a believer and B have had an experience.
What are your numbers, ghost, spirit, respectively?
Ghost, I would say 6. Spirit, 9.3765.
Well,
Now-
that's double pie.
Now,
Yeah.
what I,
mathematicians.
as far as personal experience, I have had times when I wasn't asleep, but I wasn't completely awake, and had conversations with my grandfather, who's no longer with us, and other loved ones that are no longer with us, and they were. I knew they were lucid enough, and they were conversations that I did remember when I actually opened my eyes, and I went, okay. It wasn't you have a dream, you can't remember it 2 minutes later. These I could remember, and I'm like, and especially with my grandmother, She never got to see my son, and I remember having a conversation with her and her telling me how proud she was of my son, and I was just like, I woke up in tears. So
you wonder what that is, because you can manifest, or you can at least open the door to have these experiences, right? If you do a sensory deprivation tank, there are certain experiences that I've had where you
I've
feel
always
like
wanted to do that.
do it.
Yeah.
Do it if you haven't. But I've had experiences where you go, okay, I'm awake. I'm not dreaming. I'm completely awake. But you've entered this different realm if you let yourself. Maybe it is connected. Maybe they are right there. And I think there's comfort with that. I think there's probably more value. I say this to you, Adrian.
Sure.
I think there's more value in believing that it's there and that there's something else than there isn't. For me personally, I should say it that way. Because knowing that there's maybe this connection, I talked about that stuff with Holly's grandpa last week. It's good because it at least tells you while we're here. Live it like. Well, when you go, you're going to something.
And you know, and I am a religious person, and I do believe in God. I do believe there is a heaven and a hell. But I also believe that heaven has to be a place where you can do anything that you want. You can be anywhere that you want.
Hookers and blow.
And they might get bored. They want to come down and see what everybody else is doing and check on their loved ones. And that would make perfect sense to me. You know, my son may never experience that from my grandmother, but I firmly believe that my grandmother is still looking over me, and occasionally, if she needs to, she'll pop down and say, "You're fucking up."
So
what was it? That was John. Was that John that was talking about that last week?
Yeah.
When he connected with his grandfather, or maybe some relative that was close, that every time he had a dream with them, he said, hey, it was when he was messing up, hey, you need to get this figured out.
I think it was an uncle or...
Uncle, yeah, something like that. Yeah.
So JD Mars is coming in, says Tracy and some girlfriends were in Jefferson, which is where we did the vintage nationals
Washington
at.
City.
And went into their hotel rooms and smelled cigar smoke.
I've
heard the
I've been
smelling
into some
stuff.
cheap motel rooms and they smell like cigars.
Look, we're in a nice cigar lounge, and our neighbors will tell you that there is cigar smoke everywhere in this building. I will say that. So if somebody was smoking...
But it's not Winston Churchill.
It's not Winston. He's not here. But if somebody was smoking a subpar cigar in Jefferson, I'm pretty sure that cigar odor would have migrated.
But that is one thing that some of these people talk about is experiencing certain smells where you just wouldn't smell that.
Same thing with Ali's dad. When Ali's dad passed away, and in his little office, in his mom's room, in her parents' room, after he passed away, it smelled strictly like his cologne for months. And then the family had an experience when they're watching TV. The TV shuts off, turns on. In the grain of the TV, they see their dad in the grain. Everyone in the family. And then it's gone. And then the smell at that exact moment went away. So it's like it's really weird things.
Yeah.
It's really, really weird things. You just...
I know Begley and her sister had an experience at their restaurant where at the exact same time, behind this rack that they had, they old school racks they would put pies in.
Right.
Behind that was this just huge shot of light that went up the back of this thing, and they both were like, "Did you just see that?" I mean, they both saw it. So there are some real interesting things that would happen.
No, without a doubt. Ronnie, glad you're here. Everyone, I'm glad you guys are joining us.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys taking your Tuesday night and hanging out with us while we do what we do. We're smoking a really good cigar. Thank you for that, Ron.
Yeah,
it's
we were talking 2017, 2018 Crux Guilds before they got go localized.
Yep.
This is...
Well, you want to talk about that for just a second?
No.
All right.
What were you going to say?
Well, part of the deal is aging cigars.
Oh, okay, good.
And the deal is, everybody buys cigars. Sometimes they want to do something with them. Sometimes they don't. And everybody who doesn't want to do anything with them, they put them in an aging humidor. And I have found the perfect way to store those is a cooler door. No reason to spend a bunch of money on an expensive humidified humidor, blah, blah, blah. Go out and get you an Igloo cooler, put the boxes in there, throw in some Avita packs or some Boost packs, or I've got a actual humidifier inside of a cooler door. I throw those boxes in there and they can sit there indefinitely, and years later you pull them out, you start smoking some of them, and if you don't think they're right, you throw them back in the humidor and let them age a few more years, and which is what I'm going to do with the ones that I brought tonight.
Now, to your point, and this is the tip of the Dave when we're talking about, particularly for cigar newbies. By the way, if you're not a member of Cigar Newbies, join it. Say that you watched it here tonight. But humidification is one of the main things that people ask about. And the one thing that you have to do with the cooladors or any type of airtight piece is make sure that you open it from time to time and just let new air get inside that. Otherwise, you run the risk of getting some mold. So make sure that air is moving around, and if you're using Tupperware or you're using a cooler, a
or
Yeti.
as Brad calls it,
Tupperware. But if you're using that stuff, just make sure you're opening that and making sure that air moves around in that, and then close that thing back up.
And I replenish the packs periodically. And I also make sure I rotate the stock, and I bring stuff from the bottom to the top and make sure that stuff stays
It's a good idea.
rotated.
You know what I've seen that ages exceedingly well are those Byron and Atabey ceramic jars.
Ceramic jars,
Yes.
Those
for
things,
sure.
I put a little pack in there. I think I've got 65s in there. But all of those cellophanes, I've got that box of Playboys by Don Diaz gave me, and I put a couple Zulus, Terre Blanche, like that's my aging cabinet, so to speak. And if you want something that flash ages something, when you bring it all together and keep it tight so everything's touching itself and there's no additional air, it's unbelievable. Interesting. Do you have ceramics? Something tells me I remember seeing one at your place.
Do you have an Atabey ceramic?
I think so. Maybe you got like the Byron.
I've got the Byron and I've got the Atabey as well.
I have the boxes, but not the jars.
The ceramic.
I have a Bandolero.
Tin?
Yeah.
That would still, I think that would still work pretty well.
Yep.
Yeah, I would still do that. Okay, so Oliver's saying make sure to use humidibags only in those jars. Yep, exactly.
Yep.
That's
makes
if
sense.
you continuously use the beads.
Oh, the beads are useless. I have
Beads
never
are
had
wasted.
any good.
Beads
good
are a
rock
waste
out
of time.
beads.
I'd done a test, 2 identical boxes, actually, they're both Byron boxes. I put beads in one, I put a Integra Boost pack in the other one, and I can monitor it with the Govee. I have an outside sensor that shows the impact of outside temperature to the humidity inside the cabinet, and the beads the Integra pack is holding like this, and the beads just did that nosedive,
Well,
and then they just kind of
land
land at 58%.
They'll spike up high on them
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
So Chris Coulter said, I smoked an 8-year-old Rocky Patel Rosado yesterday, 8 years ago. Wasn't anything too special, but some age makes them very, very good. Not a huge Rocky fan overall, but a consistently decent smoke.
But you know, when I first started smoking cigars, I smoked a lot of Rocky Patels
I smoked a million A's.
because I didn't know any better. You know, there's a lot of great stuff out there, and I'm, you know, like I said, I've brought some stuff in that I've got aging. I'm curious to see how they react after a few years, and look forward to, you know, I'll throw these back in the aging humidor, and another 2 or 3 years down the road, hopefully we'll get it on another show, we'll take some more, and see how they've aged.
Yeah, without a doubt. Heck yeah. So we're hitting about that hour mark. I just want give me a thumbs up. Give us a thumbs up if you want us to keep rolling. I'm feeling like this is a good show.
I've got one more question.
Yeah.
Do it.
I know what it
yes.
is.
What is it?
Aliens?
We got to follow the show. I'm
Okay.
Okay, so let me just throw this out there for anyone who's new. These are the big three. So go ahead and judge Ron as he tells you his answer. It's very important you judge him. This is
Yes,
judge
please
free
judge
zone
me.
until right now.
This is
So
a
Give him a thumbs up.
You will be no
Judgment.
different than my ex-wife.
Sure.
So,
Shoot him a middle finger if you agree. Ronnie, on a 1 to 13, where do you sit with UFOs piloted by aliens who have visited our country?
Our world.
No, our country.
Our country.
Why would they want to go to
They're
here?
here now.
okay,
God
now
bless
that
America.
now that you've specified it down to that,
Roswell. That's all
I'm going to
saying.
have to say 0.
Oliver, I love you.
Okay, but I'm going to preface that. I believe there is extraterrestrial life out there. I believe they are smart enough not to visit our dumbasses, and if they do flybys and don't get noticed.
I think
What about
Earth.
Tic Tac?
I think Earth.
I think it was a Tic Tac. I think it was Photoshop. Yeah.
I think Earth is like we're their aging humidor. They planted some shit here. They're gonna go. Yeah, but we're gonna sit on this for a couple more years.
Well,
Then
do
maybe
you
we'll
ever-
come back, give it a shot, see how it does. If it's not doing okay, we'll just throw it back in the humidor.
Exactly,
And
exactly.
let this thing mature a little bit more.
Speaking
But I think
of-
they're just trying to see if
Because
we're gonna kill each other first.
We're not very
And
smart.
then they're
We're
gonna
not
take all the
very mature.
resources.
Speaking of, let's go ahead and back up to a little bit of cigar knowledge here. We got Jason Phillips. Glad you can join us, Jason Phillips. How often should you recycle the air in a Tupperware with Bovida packs in it?
About every 30 days.
Yeah.
Oh, you're going that often?
Yeah, just open it, close it, just get some air moving around inside that cabinet and then close it back. You just
Or
don't want that to get
Just
moldy.
Jason Phillips, just smoke the cigars in your Tupperware, your little humidor you've made up there, and that's going to be enough. Just keep smoking cigars, you'll be all right.
Yeah.
Man, that is.
That I'll tell you what, people are so extremely paranoid. I see people that are particularly newbies. They're like, I have a 70.
I was the same way.
I have a 72 Bovida in there, and it's holding at 69. What do I do? Let that sumbitch get all the way down to 63, 64, and you're going to have a better experience than you will at 70 or 72.
But it's easy
For
to
sure.
ruin it. You know, or I'm sorry, it's easy to fear you're going to ruin it.
Yeah.
Because you
You're
spend a lot
just
of money
not.
on
Because here's the
cigars.
deal.
Yeah.
If it drops to 63, it's still smokable. It may not be the perfect experience, but you can always throw another pack in, bring it back up, and it'll be fine.
What are you at? You're at 64, right?
Yeah, I mean, I've done the test. We have a device called a Cigar Medic, and it has 2 prongs. You set it, plug it into the foot of the cigar, and it will show you what your humidity is at the foot. I've done a test, and the testing, if we were at 70% humidity at the foot, I take 2 puffs on that cigar and I stick it in the cap, and we're close to 80. So what I'm trying to do is
When you're smoking it?
when I'm smoking
Yep,
it.
yep.
So that humidity, the humidity that's in the cigar is going to heat up. It's going to steam up a little bit, particularly behind the ember. If you've had a cigar that gets really soft and really hot, and draw gets really not very good. Yeah, these are perfect because we can literally hold this thing right at the ember. It's
hot
no
as
big
shit
deal.
on my ember. I'm going to just go ahead and say that.
Mine's good, but the thing is if I run this thing, if I'm at 63 and I take 2 or 3 puffs and now I'm sitting at 70, it will get up. But if you're at 72 when you're at the foot, odds are the thing's going to be 85. And you always hear people talk about that final third is so bitter. Well, now you've heated that thing up so much that
And it could be
you've
you
brought
smoke-
that oil and everything to life. that
And it
maybe
could be
don't
you
want.
smoked it too fast.
Slow down.
Exactly.
Slow down.
Yeah, and just so you know, we keep our humidor at about 68, somewhere in that
Yeah,
ballpark.
67, 68.
But if you stick that Cigar Medic in, don't worry because the innate humidity of the tobacco is going to be much lower. Right now, if you stick a Cigar Medic in ours, you're going to be 58, 59%.
Yeah.
You're
I mean,
not-
you'll have
your
some that'll be
air-
65, depending on where they're at in the
Right,
humidor.
your relative humidity in the tobacco, the biomatter, is going to be substantially less than the air itself.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you really don't want a cigar that's going to be 68%.
Yeah,
when you
it's
stick
to
it
me
in.
that's too wet,
too
and it
wet.
forces you to slow down. But for newbies out there and experts, just slow down. Just slow, long pulls.
And
You'll enjoy it so much
I want you to
more.
look, everybody, look at the burn line on all of
That's
these.
perfect.
Razor.
I mean, and I am notorious for canoeing the shit out of everything, and this line is just solid all the way through.
Yep.
I mean,
So tasty.
it's tasty. It's got a great burn rate.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'll give you another tip of the day for all you newbies that are out there. And we had this Saturday night. We did an event at a racetrack, Eagle Canyon Raceway, which we love those guys.
My future stomping rights.
But it was about 25-mile-an-hour winds, and the guys were having these cigars that were burning super fast on one side. So when you're outside on a windy day, the air goes over the cigar and then accelerates on the back side, burning the back faster than it burns the front where the wind is hitting it. So the secret is just turn that into the wind. And that will accelerate the backside of it, and you'll get caught up in just a matter of a few minutes.
yep. And that's usually the reason why I canoe so bad is I'll hold the cigar
In one spot.
in one spot the entire time I'm smoking it, and I never rotate it at all. And rotation is the
And that's a big deal on the outside when you're outside in the wind.
yeah.
You know something that
I do the
that
same
I've
thing with my
noticed
car.
is everyone has their own style, right? I think I hold my cigar closest to you, Pops. I think I'm like this. You have yours set up kind of cartelish, by blood.
Yeah.
But Ronnie always has his right at the end, and you always go like this. Everyone has their own style. to
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I'll hold it here, but then I'll smoke it.
Like that. So you go from cartel to doobie.
Sure.
I'm curious how you guys hold it. Do you hold it? I hold mine like a pen, like I'm gonna write with something.
There was a guy that was at a cigar lounge we used to go to that held it like a bitch. And he would hold it like this. And he would smoke it like this. And I don't know why. I don't know what he was trying to do. But he had it in this
Fucking chopsticks, like-
this finger. And I just wanted to just smack him every time.
You know what? You're entitled to smack somebody else.
I think you can. Just knock the cigar right out of their hand.
Worse? Yeah, I brought some newbies that I used to work with.
And you know what? You didn't have to smack it out of his hand. Just bump his
Yes.
elbow, and that would be
Yes.
it.
This right here.
Thank you for saying that. You
Yes.
know who holds it like that?
I mean,
John Travolta in Swordfish. He holds it like an asshole.
But he was a bitch in that movie.
that's
Yeah,
why.
that's why. Because he
Yeah.
holds it. He smokes it
they,
like
they
this.
do this, and I'm like,
Son of a bitch.
I don't know how to correct him.
That's
Ooh,
like
Chris-
that- that's
Chris
like the-
Pulte, he's
that-
pinky up.
That's the guy,
That's fine.
isn't that the guy that they shovel the food on their fork and eat it upside down? I mean, isn't that, they're kind of that guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sons
Yeah.
of bitches.
Tell me when we went to F1 and didn't realize how Midwestern we ate our food.
Yeah.
The way they held their forks and knives eating, whatever we were eating.
Yeah.
And they held it. I was like, I started trying to eat like that. I was like, fucking stupid
No.
ends.
Yeah, we're shovelers.
Europeans.
Yeah. They all take their time.
Yeah, Chris Coulter's the pinky up drop. All right.
That's,
I'm for it.
Well, you know what? And
Julie's
funny
a
you
spot.
mentioned that.
Yeah.
That reminds me of the book, Great,
John.
Great Expectations. They made a point of the main character really didn't understand the correct way to eat with a fork and a knife, and was being educated about it. And it was kind of interesting, and I really never thought about that till reading that book. And it was like, and he was talking about eating peas off of a knife, and they were saying
I don't trust that.
they would and they said that was okay provided you made sure that the blade part of the knife was away from your mouth so you didn't cut yourself. And I'm like, who eats like that anyway?
Who eats peas?
Well,
I mean, be an adult.
So
Yeah.
I love peas.
Hey, don't get me wrong. I
Kathleen's
like,
in.
I
Hang
like
on.
peas and
Hey,
I like
Kathleen.
Brussels sprouts.
Kathleen says she holds hers like a doobie. So maybe she got it from
Like
me.
this? Uh-huh.
I mean, yeah, I don't know.
Now wait a minute. I did hold a cigar like that, and you'll remember that cigar.
When I try to burn your lip off,
You tried to burn my lip off.
What do you mean? Would you
Oliver-
hand him the cigar like
No,
this?
no. Oliver brought in some cigars
yeah.
and gave out cigars to a limited.
Yeah, they were from 1880. Those
and
things
they were
were like,
130-year-old
you
cigars.
wanted to smoke your fingers with those
And
things.
it was so phenomenal. And I was holding the cigar like this, trying to smoke the last little bit of it. And I was trying to light it. And Adrian goes,
I
let
got
me
you.
help you with
I got
that.
you.
And so he hits the torch, and
No.
torches the top part of my my
Well,
mustache.
he had a mustache back then.
And
Used to. I noticed you don't anymore.
I don't anymore. And you and I laughed about that for weeks after that because
still do.
And we still do because I didn't care that you singed my mustache because that cigar was phenomenal.
It was
Yes,
incredible.
it was a phenomenal cigar. Honestly, it was the SG DuPont flat flame. So I was like, oh, I got you, man. It's a tiny flame.
Slim 7.
Yeah. And it almost torches mustache.
I still have that cigar. That's still
You liar.
I swear to God. And
You
you
liar.
want to know something?
How much you want for it?
And you smoked it.
No. How much do you want for it?
0.
No. I'm
That's not
serious.
going anywhere.
It's not for sale.
You want to know what I mean? Look,
Because I would pay you for that because that was a phenomenal cigar.
I bet it is. But you want to know about the failure of my father and how he raised his kids? You know.
Here we go. Here we go.
He's giving us
I
the
gave it
world.
to Andrew to give to him.
He gives to Andrew. Andrew.
Well, that was his first mistake.
Andrew smokes mine. Smokes mine. Okay. This is
Of course he did.
180 years old. This is
Not 130
It's
years.
from 1880.
Yeah, 1880.
1880,
Okay.
130
He
years
smokes
old.
mine.
Yeah.
And then this little cocksucker cuts his on an angle cut. I don't like an angle cut. He cuts his and just leaves it in the back room. So it's like, hey, where's that cigar that Pop said he left for me? Oh, I smoked it. I mean, you can have mine, I guess.
But it was already cut.
What do you mean, I guess? So I have a cut cigar from 1880 in my humidor that I haven't touched.
With an angle.
With an angle. Why you would cut that cigar at an angle is beyond me.
Straight cut all the way.
It was a straight cut all the way.
Yeah, it is.
Chris Coulter's a nubber. He likes the nubbers. I burn it until if the cigar is good enough that I deserve to have my fingers burnt, I'm okay with that.
Adame Sabios did that to me today.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sabios did that to me.
But I don't. We have a lot of guys here that I see using those nubbers. I'm personally, I'll take one for the team and burn my fingers.
What do you say now? It's like the pokers?
The pokers.
Yeah, the pokers, yeah.
Just smoke it.
I'm not
Just
fan of those
smoke
either.
it, man.
Don't get me wrong, I've got a poker, but I almost never use it. But yeah, a lot of people use those because they want to get the most out of a cigar.
Just move to the next.
And-
move to the next. You
Yeah.
got it out. Burn yourself in your fingers, and that tells you you're good to go.
Yeah.
Move on to the next.
That's right.
Teach their own, but that's my stance.
Yeah, Westgate has facial hair. It always gets in the way.
Yeah,
I do notice that John is missing a patch in his beard.
Yeah, he's got a mega beard.
Well, I would try to, running gag was, I would love to grow a
The
beard.
pig art is a pipe for your.
No, fuck that. I've seen
Yeah.
that. was like,
I would
no.
love to
Yeah,
grow a beard
stupid.
like yours, but I've tried to grow a beard and it got about yay long and stopped growing, and I'm like, I'm not even worth the shit growing a beard. What the
You just
fuck?
let it go.
Yeah.
Let it
And-
roll.
no,
But
I
look
did
at him,
let-
he does like this. Maybe you're supposed to do this.
I guess so, but that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to
If
grow it
Kathleen
out
still
long
walking,
enough.
she's like, stop fucking with your beard. And I'm like, you know what? If I pull a little bit, it grows.
I tried that and I
Well,
just couldn't
am
get
I
it
right?
growing.
I
I
need
just
to be
finally
doing
gave
that
up.
on my hair.
I just finally
I'm
gave
sitting at
up.
home pulling my hair.
The only thing I can grow out long like that is my eyebrows. Nobody likes that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like Elliot smoking an Adame out of a pipe.
Oh, he did, didn't he?
Steve,
He bought a brand new pipe. and
Now,
installed
wait a
it.
minute, wait a
Yes.
minute. Terry, I'm sorry, I'm calling you out. Terry did that last night with a corn cob that he had bought at the shop. I didn't say anything to him, but I did give him some decent pipe tobacco to go with afterwards. But I saw him stick the remainder of his cigar in his corn cob pipe, and I was like,
Well,
don't
Andrew
let
got
Dave
some.
and Brandon catch you doing that. They'll catch
Andrew
you
got
out.
dental work done, and the dentist told me he couldn't smoke a cigar for 2 weeks, so he smoked for 2 weeks with one of those pipes.
But
And
he
he-
showed up to golf with the full cigar.
Full cigar.
So it's a whole bowling bear sticking out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it looked like he's smoking a boomerang. That thing just went like this. And, I do appreciate that, even though he cut my
Doctors do take a lot of fun out of this stuff. I went to do
Yes,
one of
they
these
do.
heart test things, and I went in, sat down, and the gal goes, "Do you smoke?" And I said, "Yeah, I smoke cigars." She's like, "Well, you should probably quit." I said, "Yeah, well, I'm not going to." And then the guy came in, the doctor came in and he's like, "Oh, so it says here that you smoke." I said, "Well, I don't smoke cigarettes. I smoke cigars." And he goes, "It doesn't matter. You need to stop right now." And I said, "All right, well, let's just get all this shit off." So I started peeling all the stuff off, and I got done. He's like, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm not going to listen to you." So how much did this part cost?
Right.
And he's like, "Well, it's $200." I go, "How much is the whole thing?" He goes, $200. I go, "Fuck, I'm not paying it. I'll give you $100, but I'm not taking your advice." And I ripped all the stuff off. I gave the girl $100 at the counter and I left. So
that's America.
that is America.
That I appreciate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not going to have some doctor tell me what to do.
I'm going to deviate real quick because I want to give a special
Deviate
thanks.
from what?
Yeah.
I mean,
Whatever we're doing. But I want to thank everybody at ICC who sent out thanks and well wishes to my daughter. She was in a car accident last week.
Yeah.
And this community came out in droves with support and wanted to know if I needed anything. And I want to, on the show, thank you guys, because if it hadn't been for y'all's support and to know that you guys were praying for us, you know, it'd have been a much more stressful week than it was.
Yeah.
You know,
I remember seeing you the other morning right after it happened, and you were very down. And I think all I remember doing was saying, "I know it's bad, but when you hold here, you got a pulse."
I got a pulse.
And
That's right.
as long as
She's
there's a
got
pulse, we're good.
That's
Because
right.
it can go the other way, as we know.
Quick. Real quick. No, and she looks badass too. Like I sent you in that text. I mean, that's a good. I mean, that hit. How many stitches was that?
I don't know, but she's got stitches running all the way across her brow, and running up into her forehead.
In her
here.
nose too, right?
And she's got 4 or 5 in the tip of her nose, and broke her nose, the whole 9 yards. And you know, she was in a lot of pain for many hours. And dads don't like seeing that shit at all.
Nope.
You know, and so, but you know, I told Chris, and I didn't really expect anything more. And Chris told everybody. And all of a sudden, I'm seeing texts from Kayla and you guys, and I'm going, you know, if you need anything, let me know, blah, blah, blah. And I was just so grateful. And, you know, every time I got one, I would show my soon-to-be ex-wife, and I'd say, this is why I go to the Cigar Lounge, is because these guys know what the deal is, and they will take care of us.
Yep.
You know,
Absolutely.
Yeah, and all of it, and it's just not hollow.
it's
not hollow messages. It's if you would have said, "Hey, I need someone to let the dog out" or whatever.
And Chris did that. You know, Chris ran by the house and took care of the dog and the cat.
He's an excellent
And
guy.
you know, our buddy JJ is starting a new job. He needed a ride. I hit up Chris and I said, "Can you take JD to his new job?" He took care of that, and we came together as a community to help out, and it was just phenomenal. And I can't thank you guys enough. You know, y'all are just phenomenal, and y'all are my family.
Well, yeah, I appreciate you saying that. You most certainly are our family, and it's something that when we're sitting there speaking with Humsa, who's his first cigar today. He's 21 and he's trying to identify what happiness is, what success is. He's in the first stages. And for us, selfishly, this isn't really available to everyone, but the happiness, fulfillment, success that we feel every day, yeah, this isn't a place to really. You're not going to get rich here, but you're going to live a fulfilled life.
Exactly.
You're going to love every minute
Yep.
because you get to see this community.
Well, you know, and I left the tow shop, and I was a little shaky after seeing the pickup truck and everything, and you know, and not to get too graphic, but seeing the blood on the driver's side window from my daughter and everything, I was a little shaky, and I came in here and immediately. This place made things a little better, calmed me down. My hand wasn't quite as shaky when I left, and you know, it's just this community and this family that I've got here is just more than I could ask for.
Cheers to life.
Good. Cheers to life.
Amen. Cheers to all of you for joining us.
Love you guys.
Thanks for hanging in for an hour plus.
People are hanging with us.
Yeah.
I want to know, for those of you who are hanging with us, what do you want us to talk about?
Yeah.
Because
Any
I'm just
cigar
really
questions?
digging this.
We do answer cigar questions.
Cigar questions,
What?
life questions,
Cigar questions?
any
Yeah.
questions.
You're crazy.
Cheers to all of you.
Crazy.
Chris is the new Cesar Milan. He's not much of a dog whisperer with that scrappy though. He's a bit of a community Nazi.
Yeah.
You give high fives, affection, anything.
No, dog barks.
Dog barks.
That is
Yeah.
a barking squirrel if I've ever seen one.
Yes.
He tried to chew on my leg today.
It's better
I'm
than
like,
humping
little
your
shit.
leg.
It is better. That would not be a real good
I was-
look, a hump in your leg.
Yeah.
I was about ready to drop kick his little ass.
I felt bad.
I'm sure Chris
barking.
would-
I wanted to pick it up, right? I wanted to give it a little smackaroo, but then I realized I'm used to smacking Havana, and Havana
Yeah.
is a full-out SWAT team dog,
And by
it
the
can
way,
take a hit.
I keep
Not
promising
this
to
one.
bring my dog up here. I will bring him up Saturday.
We'll all
Buck
touch
will
his
be up
feet.
here. And, you know, he's a crazy little dog, but he loves everybody. So he'll be a lot of fun around the shop.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't realize, Chris. I didn't realize you were still on.
Yeah.
Apologies to you.
It doesn't matter if we say hi to Scrappy or not. If I shake Brandon's hand or give him a hug,
I know.
That
And
dog
that's what he
hates
did.
community.
I was hugging somebody's neck, and he was chewing on my leg. I'm like, what are you doing?
It
I'm
would-
just saying hi.
What I would say is, if you can get like some sort of collar that amplifies that voice and turns it into like a real dog sound, no problem.
Yeah.
But when it's got that sound, it just doesn't work.
No,
Yeah.
nobody takes it seriously.
Like your dog Bo,
Yeah.
that's a real dog. Have you seen his dog?
Mm-hmm.
That thing is a cow in a dog's body. Well, kind of a cow in a cow's body, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Its head is this big. It looks like the dog from Ghostbusters.
yeah.
Yes.
That's kind of what it looks like.
Yeah.
Full power. I love that dog.
Okay, who brought the dogs?
Okay.
Okay then.
Rick Moranis.
Yeah.
But you know, he was another great one on SNL.
Rick
He was.
Moranis?
Yeah.
Yes.
He was on SNL.
Yes.
Yeah.
What did he do on SNL? I can't picture any of Rick Moranis.
Rick Moranis was on it, and
Did he do the real cheesy robot when they had like the ducting work on his arms?
well,
For some reason, I picture like a
I don't
kind
remember
of
that.
an Odyssey Space 2000.
But you know, he originally got his start on that Canadian show.
Wayne's World.
No, it was
I know which one you're talking about with the Canucks on it.
yes. I've gone brain dead. I'm sorry, but
That's right, it happens.
he got to start there. But he did do a little, probably a couple of seasons on SNL, and but you know, that's another great movie. If you have not seen it, Strange Brew.
Yes.
He was phenomenal on that.
I'll tell you what he's good at is My Blue Heaven.
Yeah.
He was
Great.
good at,
Very good.
Steve Martin.
With Steve Martin.
Yeah.
When he's the mob boss that's in witness protection. Oh,
And you know
that's
what?
a-
I love the fact that Ryan Reynolds pulled him back out of retirement
Little Giants,
just
we watched
to
it
do
last night.
just to do an ad for his new cell phone company, Wix. It was phenomenal because he gets out there and he goes, "Why am I here? I just wanted to see you." And Ryan Reynolds was like, "I just wanted to see you on TV again."
Bob and Doug. Frank got it. Bob and Doug.
Yes.
Yeah, they did. They were the Canadian.
John, I watched the
Yeah.
Giants last night. If you want a movie that makes you want to play football again, I was talking with Ollie last night as we're watching Little Giants.
Little Giants.
Little Giants.
This
Yep.
movie made me who I am. And I watched it when I was watching last night. I'm going, hang on.
And who was he co-starred with? Kurt Russell.
Are you sure it was Kurt Russell?
It was Kurt Russell.
Who was the coach of the Cowboys?
Yes.
I don't know if that's right. Let's take a look here.
You double check.
I'm willing to say it was not Kurt Russell. However,
But I love
I watched
Kurt.
that movie made me want to play football and
Yep.
be a real football player, like having a coach yell at you and all that stuff. And it also made me love go-karts.
Yeah.
That
Yep.
movie was
Yeah. Jim
just-
Trader's asking about John Candy on SNL. He was on that.
Oh
for a
my
while.
God, yeah.
Chris Rock was too.
I'll tell you, Uncle Buck. You've got Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Yeah.
John
Classic.
Candy.
He is so
Well,
good.
you know, and every time you hear a story about John Candy, they talk about how great he was on set, how he bought food for the cast and for the crew, and they would start breaking down equipment, and he was down there helping break down the equipment with the crew. And I'm like, how do you not love a guy like that?
Ed O'Neill.
Ed O'Neill.
Okay, I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Becky grew up good. She was pretty good. Hold you later. All right. Ed O'Neill. Yeah, thanks for everyone who's got Google up as well.
Yeah,
There's
no kidding.
way Frank Tomaszewski knew that was Ed O'Neill. 'Cause I don't know who the hell Ed O'Neill is.
Sure you do.
Yeah, you do.
Well, I mean, I do.
Modern Family.
Oh, that's
Married with
Married with
Children.
Children.
Oh shit! Oh
Yeah.
Oh, I still remember the episode when he goes a million miles in the Rambler wagon, or whatever car that is.
Yeah.
And he falls asleep on the deal, and it turns back to all zeros.
He was so pissed.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that okay. Yeah. All right, disregard.
Let's talk about I mean, we've been talking about SNL, but let's talk about just a couple classic, like 70s, 80s movies. And there's one that just popped into my head when you were talking about that. There was a great movie called Used Cars.
Yes.
And
that was
and,
with Kurt
and their
Russell.
deal was the one trick that they would use is they'd put it like a $10 bill on a fishing rod, and they would cast it across the street, and they would reel it back to get these people off the car lot across the street.
Yeah.
That
Used
was
cars. That
was a
classic.
Again,
funny movie.
70s and 80s. Okay, so where would your guys' 70s and 80s classics come?
Just classic comedy.
Yeah, I mean that was the best for that time.
Yeah, because Animal House was 79. You had
The Jerk was
The
79.
Jerk was 79.
When was Airplane?
Airplane was right around that same
Yeah.
period of time.
Airplane is
Yeah.
mine for sure.
Maybe early 80s. That was classic.
What was Blazing Saddles?
that was
Early
that
80s?
was no.
late 70s.
I was gonna say it was in
Yeah.
the 70s.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Funny story
When was
about
Spaceballs.
Yeah.
Spaceballs
that
was
was the early 80s.
Now remind me, Mel Brooks.
Mel Brooks.
Yes.
In fact, the funny story about Blazing Saddles, Mel Brooks got called into the production company's office, and they had this whole list of things they wanted him to change for Blazing Saddles. And Mel Brooks sat there with a notepad and was making notes the entire time, the things that they wanted him to change. And the meeting ended. He walked out and threw the notepad in the trash. And somebody pulled it out later. It was nothing but doodles, and he didn't change a damn thing. And basically gave the big finger to the production company and said, "I ain't changing nothing."
Good.
And that is probably the greatest comedy of all time.
That's good.
Blazing Saddles.
There's another one in that time frame, Young Frankenstein.
Yes.
Oh, come on.
That was
Yeah.
really
Gene
good.
Wilder.
Yeah.
In fact, Gene Wilder and Mel Brooks collaborated on that during Blazing Saddles. Mel Brooks, Gene Wilder had the idea for Young Frankenstein and brought it up during the production, and Mel goes, "That's gonna work."
Yeah.
And so the
It
two
was
of them
so
sat down and wrote that, and it was brilliant.
What I'm taking from all of this is there were no good movies before 1976, but after that,
I think it was.
the 80s. You had Coming
but-
to America. You had Trading Places.
But it's how the show started tonight, where we were talking about Saturday Night Live. I think it took Saturday Night Live because look at how many great movies had Belushi, that had Dan Aykroyd, that
Blues
had Bill
Brothers.
Murray,
Yeah.
Blues Brothers, that had all of these guys that came out of that fell out of Saturday Night Live.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean there are some westerns that will hold up over time. I mean you've got El Dorado, you've got
Rio
True Grit,
Bravo.
Rio Bravo,
Yep.
McClintock,
Yep.
but very few of those really hold up.
Yeah.
And I mean, aside from the classic
True
little bags
Grit,
they get,
yeah.
True Grit, you've got Clint Eastwood.
All of the Clint Eastwood Western stuff.
What am I thinking of?
You're thinking Dirty,
Dirty.
Good, Bad,
Dirty.
the Ugly.
Good, Bad, and the Ugly.
Yeah,
You were thinking Dirty Rotten Scoundrels.
Butch
which
Cassidy,
gets
Clint
back on
Eastwood.
the rails, and I agree with that.
yeah.
Yeah, I think Westgate was born in the wrong decade.
He thinks there are no good movies from the 70s, John
If he was,
Westgate.
if he was born 10 years later.
Or just had better
earlier.
parents.
Yeah.
It would have been okay.
Coming to America, Trader
Yeah,
threw that
The
out.
Jerk
Yeah,
is,
you're right.
The Jerk. If you can
and the
find me a
Jerk
better
still,
movie.
and the Jerk still holds up.
Oh.
I mean,
Coming to America still holds up.
yes,
What
it
was that?
does.
81.
That had to be early 80s, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Trading Places.
Trading
Yeah.
Places.
48 Hours was good with Eddie Murphy.
That was
Yeah.
his breakout, right?
That was his breakout.
And Nick Nolte. I mean, Nick Nolte
Yeah.
was phenomenal.
Before
Yeah.
Nick Nolte was Nick Nolte. Now, who we got?
Omaha Boy.
Yep.
Spies Like Us.
And Raising
Oh, Spies Like
Hey,
Us is
and let's
good.
throw out Raising Arizona. I mean, come on.
Raising
Yeah.
Arizona was great.
I mean,
There's a movie I watched not long ago with Robert De Niro from, I think it was probably the mid 80s, where he had to take a runaway and he had to take somebody all the way across the country for a bounty. He was a bounty hunter. And it was, shit, I'll look it up, but I'll tell you what, if you want just a lighthearted 80s movie that is well put together, it's friendly, it's fun, it's easy
What, you
going,
know,
with
and-
like old school 80s style action
and the
scenes.
problem is almost nothing produced in the 70s, late 70s and 80s, you couldn't produce now.
No.
You know? And if,
Nothing
they,
in the early
and if they want to do a remake, it's going to be crap because they're going to cut out everything that was great about that original movie.
Yeah.
In fact, I saw just the other day, it wasn't a great movie, but it was a decent movie, the Time Traveler's Wife. They made a remake of that already, and I'm thinking, why did you do that?
That's what it was. Yeah.
I mean-
this is Midnight Run is what I'm talking about.
Oh yes,
Midnight
yes,
Run.
Midnight Run. That was a great movie.
Oh, it was. If you haven't seen it, watch it. It holds up over time. It kind of has this. It has a certain. It's very evergreen feeling. It feels very much like Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. It has like it's kind of lighthearted but fun. The challenges they get into. I would watch that again. It is really a good movie. No, it's just a different Beverly Hills Cop.
Oh yeah, couldn't make it now.
You couldn't make most
No.
things. You couldn't make anything from 2005 on.
Not at all.
No, too many people are sensitive and easily offended.
Smokey and the Bandit.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
even like Pretty Pink or any of those 80s.
No, you couldn't make them now. No.
I'll tell you what you could redo. Robin Williams' Birdcage.
Oh my
Easily.
God.
Easily.
That was
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a phenomenal.
Yeah.
And
Two
I'll tell you
movies
what.
ahead of their time.
And I'll tell you what. Robin Williams playing the straight man for once was a phenomenal film, and he did such a great job. And I love watching that one periodically, just because Robin Williams is just great in
Yeah,
it.
he's a legend. That was ahead of its time. You know another movie that was ahead of its time, and this is going to test everyone to see if their attention is still there. Juana Man.
I forgot to watch that.
That's about a man who decides to be a woman and play in the WNBA.
Yep.
Yep.
Dominates. That was ahead of its time.
That could hold too.
But actually, that's happening now.
Oh, and they're dominating.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Before the algorithm picks us up, we should move forward.
Or it could pick
Well,
us up.
It'll
Oh,
pick
Yeah,
us up.
Juana Man, best movie ever. I think.
What was the movie with oh God, where the guy lies on his college application that he's black, and he has to pretend to be a black guy.
Ronnie, you are on an island right now. We have no idea
Oh
what
my
you're talking
God.
about.
Somebody will know what that is.
Later, Albert. Thanks for joining.
Peace out, Oliver.
Oliver's on.
Dave's not
Yeah,
here.
Oliver's been on since the beginning.
Oliver, how are you doing, brother?
No,
I
he's
missed
gone.
you, man.
Soul Man.
Soul Man, that was it.
Yeah.
That was it.
That was it.
Soul
Thanks,
Man.
Shiny Goodner.
That could not be played today.
That
No. No, there's a lot that won't be. There are certain scenes in The Jerk that would not be played today.
Trader brings up a good one that would actually hold water today, and that is Cheech and Chong's Up in Smoke.
Yeah.
That would be very well accepted.
Yes, it
into
would.
the
Okay, so let me toss this out there. This could be added to the big 4 or 5 or 10 questions, however many we have.
I may abstain from answering that.
Nope. So, what is the movie that will put you in a shell that wraps up who you are as a person. If there was one movie that you said, this is me, this is maybe who I want to be known as, what is that movie that you would say, this is the title, this movie is about my life?
That's the easiest one in the world.
I mean,
Dude,
I know that's easy for you.
Yeah, that's
God.
so easy.
Stroker Ace.
What in
What
the
the fuck
Sam
is
hell
that?
is that?
Yeah.
It's a Burt Reynolds movie with Lonnie Anderson.
It sounds
I don't know
like
who
it would be,
Lonnie
but I've never
Anderson
seen
is.
that. Well, she's
What?
Dude, back in the 80s, she was hot.
Lon,
Was she-
she was it.
Yeah.
She was.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I may have to disown you at this point.
Yeah, Lonnie was everybody's.
Stroker.
Her and Farrah Fawcett.
Yep. Fucking Johnny Goodner.
Jesus, she's not aging well, is she?
No,
She's
I
aging
mean,
like
you gotta
open
find a
wine.
picture from the 80s.
Yeah, you gotta look.
Yeah, Goodner's coming in, Dumb and Dumber.
That right there, that's what you're going after?
Let me see.
That one right there?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
That's,
that's
the
her.
one, boys.
That was it.
Back in the
Boys?
80s.
A lot of
They-
hair.
Yeah.
My
the-
generation had better looking women than your generation. That's what I'll say.
I mean,
It was a funny movie.
That's all we had back then.
It was
That's what you had?
That's
no,
what we
no,
had.
it was a funny movie,
Feel bad for
and it's a racing movie.
Farrah Fawcett?
All right, Farrah Fawcett. All right, she holds.
It was a funny movie. It was a racing movie, and in fact,
She looks like
the
Morrison.
Charlie Daniels band did the theme song, and the theme song is just phenomenal. And if you want to drive around in a muscle car and run around dirt roads, that's the theme song you got in your
Sounds
hand.
like Smoking the Bandit.
It,
It was very much.
well, the deal was
Yeah.
Burt Reynolds played a NASCAR driver who had lost all his sponsors and because of his antics, and got picked up by a chicken company, and they wanted to run him ragged. And
We've got.
it was
all
a
right.
great movie.
So okay, all right, we're gonna transition off.
No,
Please,
let
What
me
is the
just say
hottest
this
chick
while.
the hottest chick from your childhood.
Weird Science.
Oh,
Okay, well,
no,
hold-
I can't do that.
Let me just say this about Cheech and Chong before this scrolls past that.
Yes, please.
I was actually. This goes back to when Up in Smoke came out.
Yep.
Cheech and Chong came to Omaha.
Your kid.
Yes.
And Junior and I went and seen them, and all they did was they had two chairs sitting on the stage, and they basically acted out the scenes from Up in Smoke. It was
Just
But
hilarious.
you know, they had a hilarious album
Oh, their albums were funny as
that were hilarious.
All right.
Yeah.
So who is the best looking woman from your childhood?
Kelly LeBrock, Weird Science.
What's her name? What?
Oh,
Kelly
she was
LeBrock.
hot.
Kelly LeBrock.
You know
Toss
what?
that thing over there. That's got a 928 in it.
Unfortunately, I
Yes.
was in high school at the time, and she's up there. But then I got to go with Lonnie Anderson, and then I got to go with Marie Osmond.
Osmond.
Marie Osmond.
You remember Marie?
I remember Marie Osmond. I
and she
don't know.
was a hottie back then.
All right. Hang on. All right. You have a photo. Who is it from your childhood? Who was the best
Kelly
looking?
LeBrock.
Who was a 10?
Kelly LeBrock. I mean,
Different than you remember?
The
We went
problem
through
That was
exercise.
her. That was Weird
Yeah.
Science.
that's a
Oh,
that's a great
that's-
movie.
that was-
Another movie you couldn't make it now.
No.
Okay, so that was from your childhood, right?
yeah.
Okay. Who was from your guys' childhood?
Farrah Fawcett was.
Farrah Fawcett.
She
Yeah.
was pretty much it.
Farrah Fawcett, is that yours?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, mine definitely wins that because when I was
That's
a kid.
because, only because you're
but
20,
here's the thing.
30 years younger than I am.
Here's the thing. When I was a kid, Dust to Dawn came out, and that's
Yep.
Salma Hayek in her prime.
Yeah.
You tell me there's
Salma
something better
Hayek
looking
is-
than Salma Hayek,
That's still dog.
Desperado. Get out
Today,
of here.
she holds water today.
She holds water today. Or I mean, we had Elizabeth
Well, you know-
Hurley
Yep.
from Bedazzled. I mean,
Yeah. Oh
there's
yeah.
no way your brothers aren't competing.
And the problem is, years ago I used to have a short list, and it was a list of girls that I could, if they showed up on my doorstep and said, "Ron, I need you," I would disappear for a couple of weeks till they got tired of me. And the problem is,
Frank, that's a good one.
I don't know.
my list is so old now. They're old. They're old
From
women now.
The girl next door. The chick from Girl Next
Oh
Door.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and-
She aged well too.
And
She was-
another one that I was, and I'm still in love with, is Terry Hatcher.
Yeah, she
All right,
still
let's see
holds
Terry
water.
Hatcher in her prime.
Now,
And I'll tell you what, there's a movie called Soap Dish that she's in with Kevin Kline and
Oh, she aged well. She looks good.
and she's only a minor character in that movie, and
Alright.
she is so hot
What-
it's not even funny.
What year is Terry Hatcher's prime?
Do
1988.
Soap Dish.
yeah, I don't think she's aged well.
Yeah, I mean it's not bad. Soap dish. So this is the segment of the show that we just look up.
And she was also in Tango and Cash with Kurt Russell and
Yeah, she's
Sylvester
got a
Stallone.
certain look to her.
yeah.
John Judd's saying Marissa Miller, but there was some other
Hold
girl.
it, is that the chick from Saved by the Bell?
There was another girl named was it not Marissa?
No, I tell you what, Marissa Tomei still holds
She's
up.
her in.
Oh, my God.
My Cousin Vinny
My
was
Cou-
awesome.
Exactly,
yeah,
my cousin
yeah.
Vinny.
But now,
She's still phenomenal.
Jennifer Connelly.
She
Oh, yeah, that's-
she made a beautiful Aunt May.
Oh, that okay. So that's
Or I'm sorry,
she looks like who's the chick? She looks like Demi Moore. This Jennifer Connelly looks like Demi
Jennifer
Moore.
Connelly's beautiful. I'll tell you what.
What's her name? Still holds water.
This movie could not
White
be
Man
played.
Can Jump.
Oh,
Demi Moore.
Demi Moore.
Demi
Oh,
Moore
Demi
looked
She
good
was
back
in
in the
White
day.
Man Can't Jump?
Yeah, wasn't she?
Yep. Yep.
But Demi Moore still she looks good today, but she was
But
rocking
also
it back
the
in the
chick in
day.
Fifth Element, as it's up, in her prime in Fifth Element. I don't know who she is, but she
Daisy
holds up.
Duke.
Daisy Duke.
Alyssa Milano.
That's it. Alyssa
Who's
Milano.
from? Does anyone know who's from Saved by the Bell? You know what I'm talking about? The
I do.
brunette.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hold please.
They did a Saved by the Bell
Reboot.
remake, and
Yeah.
some of those girls
They don't.
They-
look like they
Her last name's
Look at
Thayson.
that, right there.
look like they
Yeah.
saved by the pastry facility, pastry shop. Filled out.
Rosie Lopez.
What's her name? Thayson.
I don't know what her name is. Yeah, Tiffany Thiessen.
Tiffany Thayson. She's a beautiful
Tiffany
girl.
Thayson.
But again,
Rosie,
by the-
everyone's just putting. I mean, this has been the most comments of anything. Tiffany Amber or something.
Yeah, that's her good.
Just go ahead and just keep this going because we're almost at 200 comments. So thank you.
Is
Just overall prime.
Who's-
Overall 10.
who
Who's
is
at 10
Blair-
of 10s? Okay,
Oh,
let's pull
oh.
away from actors and actresses.
and I'm gonna hit you on this one. Stephanie Seymour.
I don't remember that one.
Stephanie Seymour?
Yeah, Stephanie Seymour. She was.
Francis the multi-pass chick is hot.
Yeah,
She was in,
she's hot as shit, and I'm
yeah.
watching it right here.
Yeah.
She was in the.
Stephanie Moore?
Yeah.
Tiffany Amber
Fifth Element?
something.
No,
Oh, yeah,
it's not
she's-
her.
The chick from Fifth Element?
Sizemore. Sizemore.
Sizemore?
Yeah. She was in that series with
Yeah, Erling?
Heart to Heart.
Okay, let's back
Remember
up.
Heart to
here.
Heart.
We're not talking actors and actresses. We're just talking flat out popular culture, right? And I'm gonna chum the waters with this one. Here's my 10 of 10s. 10 of 10s, Shakira.
No.
Lately?
no.
Like,
Shakira, even at 55.
No.
Is she
Look at
55?
look at Shakira
sorry,
right now.
lately, no, that.
Look at Shakira right now. But Shakira in her prime,
Elizabeth Hurley beats her hands down at the age.
look, both of them come knocking on the door. Ron, just shut the fuck up.
Listen, if either one of them come knocking on my door, I'm gone. But the odds of that are like 0 to 0.
So you're saying there's a chance. Well, who's your 10 of 10s? Mine's Shakira.
Now,
Who's your
so you're
10?
saying there's a chance the chick that was in Dumb and Dumber.
Oh yeah, she was a beautiful.
Who? Are
girl.
you saying Mary?
Yeah,
No, that's she's a redhead. Wait,
Mary Swanson.
Mary Swanson.
I was
Sam's
way
right.
out. Swimming,
What's wrong with
swimming,
that?
Oh, yeah.
swim,
No.
swimming.
Who- She had a nice little butt, but that was about it.
What's her name from something about Mary?
Oh, Cameron Diaz.
Cameron
Cameron
Diaz.
Diaz.
Cameron
Yeah,
Diaz in
she's-
her prime.
well,
Late?
No.
No. Even lately, she came out today. She redid the whole thing with the hair.
No.
Oh
way.
yeah.
Yes. And
Cameron Diaz.
yeah,
Yeah, she aged well.
she's trendy.
She's got a good look.
Yeah.
She was in what was that? Bad Teacher.
Yep.
Yes.
She was hilarious.
Marissa Miller. All right, John. Now that you're typing in all caps, I'll go. Let's take a look here. I thought Marissa Miller was.
Sounds white.
Yeah, very white. Very white. You know who else was a killer from my childhood was Brooke Burke.
Yep.
Oh shit!
I met her.
You met Brooke Burke?
I met Brooke Burke. We were at
Marissa Miller. She gets
some event, and I was sitting with Kathleen, and she knew I already had a thing for her. And I was like, "There's Brooke Burke," and she's like, "Go say hi." She's like, "Kathleen, go say hi to her." She's getting ready to eat dinner. She's cutting her fucking meal. I walk up to her and I'm like, "Can I take a picture?" She was perturbed. She was pissed. She got up, took a picture. I need to find the picture because I was like, and she was like.
No, Pops. I don't know if you know this, but Pops has been to the Playboy Mansion.
Yep.
Yes, I know that.
When the Playboy show was going on.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's when like Kendra. That's another.
Yeah, Kendra.
Yeah.
Kendra in person does better than she does on TV.
I can see that.
Better than TV.
Well, you know what?
10 of 10s on TV.
And I'm surprised to hear that because when I used to do comic convention all the time,
Huh?
they bring in Playboy bunnies all the
What's
time.
good coming up with all those fucking names?
Holy shit. That's a look too. That's why I said-
Personal appearances and stuff. And every last one of them look like shit compared to their Playboy
I
photos.
tell you, the last one you put together there, John, you're on the board.
Yeah,
That's a good.
Here-
Have you seen that? Here's
That's
Yeah.
Liza?
that's a good look.
Yeah, but you know what? She's old enough to be my daughter.
Hey,
So
Yeah, I mean
She
that's.
knocks on
I'm
your
just
door.
glad.
So when I went to the Playboy Mansion, my wife was insisting that I go. Right, I was going. I had.
Hey, I want to shake your hand for that.
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
Because my wife would never let me do that.
He hung
Why-
out with the Green Mile guy.
Yeah. Michael, what was his name? Michael Thomas, something or other. But anyway, we go to the Playboy. My wife's like, you gotta go. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity. So I'm like, I said, okay, fine. So I go do this thing, and George Barris was my client at the time. So we went there selling. It was Mopars at the mansion. Really, really cool event. But this was the phone call the next morning. I call up. My wife picks up the phone. I go, "How you doing?" She goes, "Good. Did you have a good time last night?" And I go, "What's the right answer to that question?" And she goes, "If you had fun, it's fine." I go, "I had a freaking riot."
yes.
So yeah, I had to make sure I qualified that question.
So you
real
saw the
quick.
grotto. You saw.
I went in the grotto. Girls were swimming in the pool. It was something else. And
So you remember
yeah.
being
That's
in
part of the
school
reason why
when
I
you're
made
like,
this.
my dad's cooler than your dad? Officially, my dad is cooler than all of your dads.
Yeah.
I won't argue that
Right?
at all.
So he gets invited to the Playboy Mansion by the guy who designed the Batmobile.
I got to sit in the Batmobile and the Munster's
No,
hearse.
wait. Which
and
one?
the Munster's hearse.
And the
Which-
Munster's
the
hearse.
original.
Oh,
And
The original.
the original Knight Rider card.
And then
I hate you.
hangs out at the Playboy Mansion with Kendra. And-
With George Barris.
I mean, so yeah,
I officially
win
hate
this.
you, Dave Frank.
And I understand. I hate me too sometimes, but I still have pictures. So, and now one of I started hanging out with this guy that's in charge today's president of Kelly Blue Book. So he's at Kelly Blue Book, and he and I kind of buddied up, and we're sitting there shooting the shit. And this girl comes out, and I had a camcorder, right? But it was.
Yes.
I mean, it
Yes,
was
you
really.
did.
It was a really cool camcorder, right? So the guy's standing there, and he's got this girl, and she's like 3/4 naked, and he's like, I go, let me get a picture with you guys. So I'm holding the camera, and this dude has got this shit-eating grin on his face from ear to ear, and he's got his arm around her, and she's sitting there, and I'm going, is it flashing? Are you guys seeing a flash? I mean, is this? Do you see it flash? Or like, no, it's not flashing. Well, hold on just a second. The whole time I'm videotaping this thing. And I'm going, how about a flash now? Nope. And this guy's just groping all over and shit. I'm like, okay, 1, 2, 3, give him a kiss. Did it flash? No. But here, let's do it one more time. I do this thing. I got like 4 minutes of video, and this guy's like, please figure out how you can send that to me. Because
I
this
have
was
that
all
video at my house.
I
pre-email.
need to see that video.
It was-
have that camcorder at my house.
We need to see that video.
The same
Yeah.
camcorder that he
You need
probably had videotaped all of our our
Yeah.
Little League football.
Yeah.
Yep.
Take that piece, transmit it into fucking MP3, whatever.
John,
Dude.
if you're thinking De Armas is a 10, go ahead and watch that new show with Affleck, and you'll realize she's closer to Amber Heard than she is to De Armas, and that will ruin her for you.
I
Bitch is crazy.
Whiskey is coming out.
I-
Like a bear. I mean,
All right. I'll look it up.
This is what I had to suffer through at the Playboy Mansion.
Hang on, you just
How
have
do you
pictures
still
on
have
your
that?
photo?
How is that on your phone? That phone's
You're
too
okay.
modern for that.
What do you got here? Hang on.
Hold on.
he's got
You
video
said you
from
have
the
this on
Playboy
your
Mansion.
Yeah.
He's got it on his phone.
All
Yeah,
right,
I
this is a segment when we watch Pops relive his time at the Playboy Mansion. Oh,
By the
my
way,
God.
Dave
Pops
Frakes.
Are you watching the?
He's a legend.
Dave Frakes was already right here on my level. Now he's up here.
There you go.
A sorry fucker.
Yeah, that. I still got that.
Who ruined it by
Who
bringing up
would
Amber
keep
Heard?
that? I would keep that. I'd have it available 24/7 if I had it.
There was the grotto. Yeah, it didn't suck.
Yeah, mind you, it took
No,
Dave
no,
maybe
no.
a second to pull
And then they had
He
a
had that on deck.
Yeah. He's got a folder for that.
they had a lingerie deal.
So
And then this one chick goes walking across, and I shoot video of her, and then she was on what's the American Idol. So I got this video of her. She's one of the girls that's at this deal.
definitely not Kelly.
She was on American Idol, not this one, but she was on American Idol, and then got kicked off because she was a Playboy bunny.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're just here to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, had to suffer
So
through
this
this one
segment is
right
called
here.
My Dad is Better Than Your Dad. For those of you who are
Right
still
there.
hanging around,
Yeah.
it's going to be
And
silent,
unfortunately,
My dad
I
won.
can't argue with you, you bastard.
right? But here we sit.
I'm just like the IRS. I'm just here to help.
Well, we closed like, I don't know, 8 minutes ago. So
Oh, yeah.
Should we close this thing out?
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah.
I'm ecstatic about the new audio. I think the setup, we got something going here.
Yeah.
I can't be happier for you guys.
All right. Well, Adrian, take us out.
I don't know if I can. Ron, take us out.
Let me give it a shot.
Have some titties.
Thanks everybody for watching. I hope you enjoyed it because we certainly enjoyed doing it. And check us next week, same time, same bat channel.
That's right.
And check out Telston Lounge tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. And check out Adrian tomorrow at 6 o'clock.
And then we have something
8
going
o'clock.
on.
8 o'clock.
And we have something going on with
8 o'clock.
Nelson.
Yeah, we're coming up here for
Yeah,
Cigar
we'll be
Talk
here, yeah.
Live. One of these at 8 o'clock with
8 o'clock
Amanda.
tomorrow night.
Yes, sir.
So watch Salesman Lounge, then jump right over and watch this show again tomorrow night.
And then catch us Saturday on Saturday at the shop.
That's exactly right. John, your dad flew B-52s in NAM. I greatly respect him. Greatly respect him. My dad is better. Adios, suckers. We will talk to you later. Peace.